Supermassive Games and Bandai Namco have just revealed a new gameplay video on the Xbox Gamescom showcase, and let's just say, it's got some absolute goodies. Hello everyone, my name is It's Just Jord, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the brand new gameplay video and going through some of the key moments and speculating and theory crafting. You know the drill. And if you enjoy that type of content and you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe, as it helps me out a lot, and then you'll get notified when I upload a brand new video about Little Nightmares. So, without further ado, let's break down this gameplay. The video starts with Lo waking up and looking around in a panicked state. Alone can be seen sitting on a chair waiting patiently, and there's just something so wholesome about that moment. As Alone drops down from the chair, we can actually see, if we watch her hand movement, that she's trying to sort of calm or soothe Lo while he's still on the floor, and offering some kind of support as she helps Lo off the floor. It's funny because I mentioned beforehand that Lo seems to always have an idea of where he's going, especially through like his body language and how he reacts after he comes out of the mirror. But in this scenario, it looks like Lo actually has no idea where he's landed or how long he's even been there for. And then of course we get an awesome voiceover by Corrale Feniello giving us some more information. Now, one thing I want to point out is that, interestingly enough, there is, in the background, on the wall, a photo, and the photo contains a picture of the mall. And again, thanks to YouTube compression, you can't really make it out very well on the video, but luckily the Little Nightmares Twitter page actually posted a image which showed this in a much sharper sense, so we can verify this. And I think when looking at this scene in particular, I think you could make the guess that they are on some type of boat or train. Now, boat's important, as we'll get into this a little bit later, but I do also recognise it could well be a train, mainly because of the bow. But again, all the gauges behind it and the pressure meters and things like that make me assume it's either a boat or train. As the video fades out and in, we can see Lo and Lo traversing the necropolis in the sort of sand desert-y type deal, and to the left of them there seems to be an object. Now, if you're familiar with a lot of the data files, especially within Little Nightmares 1, you might recognise this. My first thought was this was going to be a boat, and then I wanted to explore that idea and compare it to the boat that we have in Little Nightmares 1, and it is safe to say they are very similar. So whether this is another boat for transferring guests, because again we'll get into it in a little minute, but I think this might be an indication of something that didn't go quite well for the guests traveling outside of the area they're in. As you can see, as the video progresses and we have a little bit more of Corrale's voiceover, we can actually see in the foreground there are some odd shapes and some debris from this kind of accident, or this boat that's been stranded or something along that line, and the shape of these characters resemble that of the guests. Now, we know there's a link here because again we've had an image from the Bandai Namco website itself, and in that image they seem to be actually hauling guests across like bouts and things, sort of like a factory, as if they're almost being made and produced on a conveyor belt to be sent away to like the places like the mall and things. But again, I think this is going to be a video in itself, so again, if you haven't subscribed, do so, because I will have that video coming out soon. Anyway, Corrale explains a little about the necropolis and how it's been described as a city of eternal energy and certain death, which is very interesting wording to say the least. From the look of it so far, when it comes to the dwellers, I've always had the idea that it's thanks to the monster baby that the dwellers were obviously left the way they were. And I think the only problem I have with this, though, this theory, is the sheer scale of it. Unless the monster baby, of course, was very busy between a certain time period and she managed to get them all, it just doesn't sit with me, just because of the way some of the dwellers are posed. It's almost like they didn't expect it, some do expect it. It's almost like it happened in a flash, if you will, rather than just the monster baby looking around with her eye. It was almost as if it came all at once. Then we get a good look at what night looks like at the necropolis, and I must say, this is probably one of my most favourite parts about this already. I love the idea that we actually do get to see a transition from a day piece to a night piece as well, progressing the story further and also making it like even more atmospheric in that sense, like changing it from certain color tones to these like darker color tones. It almost seems like it's going to make it even more sort of petrifying, and it always seems scarier at night. Who knows what could generally be lurking around the necropolis at this time. But then we have probably the most interesting part of the video, and it's the markings on the wall. These markings are really important because they actually tell us something very interesting that I think I'm going to do a whole video about, because in that video we'll go super in depth to where the timeline will merge, where things will take place, and how it all might coincide inside the mall, and how it might affect each other's story that we've seen so far. And again, I have some really good ideas and theories for this, so again, if you want to watch that video or you look forward to like that kind of exploration, hit subscribe and you'll get notified when I upload it. But let me give you like a brief version of it, because of course we're in a gameplay breakdown video. I think the writing on the wall is showing us the events of 6 in the mirror, and I think it's showing us the mirror because it's connected to Lo, and also the monster baby is again somewhat connected to the lady. Now we've had this theory before, I have a video out about it already, so if you want to get caught up with my idea of that, there's that. But while it's not super clear right now, I think Lo, 6, the lady, and the Mirror Man are linked in some manner. And again, I feel like in Little Nightmares 3, we might get an indication of this. Again, the video will go in much more depth with this whole theory, but again, I think it really plays nicely into the mirror theory that we did like nearly 5 years ago, I think. It was really long ago. But it really does have a chance at bringing it all together in a very interesting way. But anyway, let's carry on with the rest of the video. Something else really interesting is that when Lo and Alone walk down the stairs, if you pay attention to the sort of left side of the screen, you can actually see there is a little statue of some sort. Something similar to the collectible that we have in Little Nightmares 1 with the lady statue. It could be a decorative piece, but I don't know, I think it more indicates an idea of a collectible there, or there's something hidden. Then, of course, we get to see the monster baby taking a nap of some sort. As Correlate confirms, that's not quite the case. But it indicates that she does need rest. So it brings up the question again, is the monster baby actually alive, or is she a tool? Now, if she's a tool, it would really help our theory about the monster baby and the lady being connected. Again, it would really help. But it could also not be true at all. So it will be interesting to see if they expand on that between now and whenever they release, or we'll find that out in the game. Again, I'd love to see what you think. Let me know in the comments below. But with that being said, that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you for sticking around and watching it. Again, if you like these kinds of videos or Little Nightmares theories, make sure you hit subscribe. We're going to have a lot of them come out soon, some real big ones. So I'm really interested to see what you think about them. But again, if there's anything I've missed, let me know in the comments below. And of course, if there's anything you want to share or mention, again, comment below. And with that being said, have a lovely morning, day or night, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next Little Nightmares theory video. Bye!